My lord, have you come to help the Azamo League too?
I've never heard of them.
Farmers and fishermen, banded together to fight the Mongols. I've come from Ariake to train them.
I admire their bravery. How is the training going?
They were supposed to meet me here hours ago. I was about to look for them.
I'll ride with you.
Their leaders stay at a farmhouse nearby. They'll know where the main force is camped. As a child, I dreamed of becoming a samurai. Now, I'm riding with a real one.
But you know how to fight, and handle a horse.
My village was constantly raided by pirates on the coast. They killed my parents when I was young. I learned to defend myself. I hope the skills I gained through hardship can be of use to the people here.
You're not so different from us. There's a fire up ahead.
The farmhouse!
Cut them down!
Hui! Arvo! Jasımde! Zipsige bir!
And good morning, Zach Taft, Hazardous Dakota, Black Vial, Will King, Dream Whisperer, Max Time, Loke, Muhammad Elvis. What's up?
These are the men I was supposed to meet.
If the Mongols found them, they could have found the main force too.
I should have come sooner.
We can still warn the others.
And good morning, Mendekler and Tizzy.
They might have found the main force.
We have to help them. Hurry, my lord!
Wait!
It's funny, because I tend to agree, Dakota. In fact, it's the only story negative I've come up with so far, is the lead-up to an otherwise excellent scene. Good morning, Ruth. Game? Game? I'm right here. Game! Game! Oh, God. That was a little close.
We're too late.
We can't save everyone.
Then I will avenge the dead.
The samurai remains calm before a fight. Wait!
I am no samurai. Stab, stab, stab.
Pay for your crimes, invaders! We did it!
You have skill, but you nearly died rushing into battle.
Don't the Mongols anger you?
A samurai's most important weapon is himself. Lose control, and you risk defeat.
I see. I should return home. Learn to master my emotions.
Keep fighting. We need people like you. But remember the lesson.
I will, my lord.
It took me a moment to even remember who you were talking about, Dakota, which probably says something. Even though she's usually part of my main party once she joins. But that's more because of her class than anything else. Yeah, as long as you're perfect, you don't have to upgrade anything out of. Wait. Like I said, I'm actually looking forward to seeing some speedruns of this game. Legit. Probably, say, next January-ish. Not that I'm aware of, no. Dream Whisperer. Hello, little pixie nerd. Alright, so you may notice the map looks a little different. That's because I sort of swept it. Everything except for the quests. So we're actually really close to being done with the Southern Island here. You didn't really miss anything. Just, a bunch of killing. A bunch of accomplishing. I got a bunch of keys for that quest. But moving on. So let's... Where are we at? Yep, this one next. The problem is I kind of want to do the side quests because the side quests are good. So... Not really, Mendeckler. The exploratory stuff is rewarding, but not really all that enjoyable in its own right. As I mentioned earlier, the traversal is just what I'm doing right now. Walking from point A to point B. And finding the little dens and whatnot is just checking the map and going from point A to point B. There's not a lot to it, is what I'm trying to say. This is also why I decided to do this stuff off camera, because you really didn't miss anything, other than me walking from point A to point B a lot, following several foxes. I managed to pet one of them.
We'd be like wounded deer to the Mongols.
And killing a lot of Mongols.
Because of that iron mark. We'll rest and go back for it. A samurai.
And hello, SJ.
What happened to you?
There's a merchant working with the Mongols. They gave him an iron mark. We tried to take it from him, but he had too many guards.
This iron mark must be worth a lot to risk your lives for it.
Whoever carries it is free to travel the roads without fear of being stopped by Mongols.
I could find a use for that.
You're welcome to it. We had to flee, but the merchant's cart is still up the road.
I'll look for this iron mark. Stay here and tend to your wounds.
Oh, I agree, Tessie. It's not like... I mean, I keep saying Spider-Man PS4 because that's kind of the golden standard of enjoyable traversal, right? But there are other games that have managed something similar.
The Mongols will come looking for their men.
This is just not one of them. I would argue, and I know some people would disagree with me on this, that Breath of the Wild managed to make traversal enjoyable. And, let's see, Mankind, or not Mankind, Shadow of War. Shadow of War is another good example. But yeah, I admittedly, I don't like to criticize without critiquing, but I have yet to come up with an idea for how exactly they could make traversal fun in this game. With the premise here. Most of my ideas involve basically removing the traversal from the game.
Mongols. They fought the men I spoke with.
That was one of the ideas I had, Dakota. Basically make it so that you could do this and be like, alright, I want to go here. And then you could either go there, like in Assassin's Creed Origins, or you can autopilot to there, like in Assassin's Creed Origins, or you could fast forward there, like in, I guess, I can't think of anything that does that.
No sign of the merchant.
Or you could just walk there. But again, that's kind of the problem to begin with. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what they could have done.
The Iron Mark isn't here. Mongols.
Even with the extra sword damage, that things just kind of fall apart here. You notice I'm one-shotting almost all these low-level guys now. I'm just gonna give it to the Mongols, I think, Zaktaft. Screw it. Oh, that's not a bad idea, Takota.
The Mongols may be searching for the men I met. I better warn them.
So hear me out for a second. Maybe make it so that, you know, they've got the haiku thing, right? And they've got the inner thoughts. Rather than having those be a point to the map you go to, bake those into the travel. So as you're traveling, the pop-up pops up and you can decide how to craft your haiku. Or maybe you can play the flute a little bit, you know, and do this thing. Or something like that. It basically give you something to actually do, which is content that's already in the game, just make it part of the travel.
Too late.
Rather than go to a spot, do the thing.
My lord,
Yeah, what's up?
you have to save the merchant with the Iron Mark. He's my brother.
Your brother?
I was stealing the mark to stop him from dishonoring his family.
If he agreed to help the Mongols, he deserves to die.
No, he's a good man. Please.
I can't promise his safety, but I'll try to find him.
Thank you.
The Mongols who killed him left tracks. There, headed that way. They turned off here.
Ham. You've never had PB&J, Dream Whisperer?
If they have the merchant, he's in there.
You're gonna have to remind me how it works in Skyrim, Adam. Oh, gotcha. So, I mean, that's how fast travel works in Oblivion, too. Although Oblivion's system is infinitely superior, as we all know. I would probably use it periodically, Adam. Depending.
Did you kill them first?
And who's left? This guy apparently cannot hear. Ever again.
You'll be free soon.
You saved my life. Thank you.
Save your thanks. Your brother told me you work for the Mongols.
They promised to protect my family and our sisters if I carried supplies for
And
them.
now your brother is dead. He led the men who tried to steal your iron mark.
No! Oh, that fool! No wonder the Mongols thought I betrayed them. I never had any iron mark. Besides, they are engraved with the bear's name.
So no one else can use them. You're free to go. If I hear you're working for the Mongols again.
They'd sooner kill me. And I cannot face my family after this. I have nothing. Nothing.
You're welcome.
What can I do now? What do I live for?
Wow, it actually will not let me bow to him. That's amusing. I have no idea, Adam. Oh, wait, hang on. Let's see. Yeah. Alright, so we did that one. Is that it? Yep, that's it. So now we go over here. Well, you see, Magister, everyone who turns against me must die, regardless of circumstance. No exceptions. Tradition is the way of the future. Despite the fact that that's not what tradition means. Ignore it! Ignore it! You must obey me, even if I tell you to do something you basically can't do. And also, you're screwed. No, there is not, Adam, but there are a few towns you can go to. Periodically.
So peaceful here.
And
What
there's
is this
food.
place?
Delicious food. I mean, resistance is futile.
I thought you were Lord Jinroku, but you're another samurai. Welcome, my lord.
Jin who?
Another samurai?
You haven't heard of Lord Jinroku? He's a legendary samurai.
I'd like to meet him. When will he return?
Soon, join us for dinner. Perhaps he'll share one of his grand stories with you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is a fraud. I'll tell you what this is.
Back from my dangerous mission. Don't worry, I'm unharmed. Oh, I wasn't expecting a visitor. We're happy to have you, of course.
Thank you. I didn't realize any other samurai had survived.
It was a fierce battle, wasn't it? The beaches of Komatsu ran red with blood that terrible day.
We fought at Komoda.
Of course. Forgive me, I'm tired from a long ride. Please, have Nabe show you the bath. We can speak more over dinner.
Please follow me, my lord.
Right.
How much do you know of Lord Jinroku?
He tells us everything. If it wasn't for him, we would have lost the whole island.
When you met him, was he armed?
He gave everything to save Tsushima except his horse.
Sounds
It's
like
at
a
the
no.
stables.
My bath can wait. I want to look at his horse.
I mean, yeah. Samurai Pretenders was an actual problem. Knight Pretenders was a thing, too.
Normal tools. Nothing out of the ordinary. A farm horse. Never seen battle.
Hi, Cloudy.
I know this saddle.
Actually, yes,
Belonged
Vyacheslav.
to Lord Higuchi. Jinroku is no samurai. I'll get the truth from him.
But they're usually not brave enough to show up on my channel. They usually show up on other people's channels. Like Guidos or cords. Oh yeah, check this out. You want to know some of the nonsense I have to deal with every now and again? It's not common. I've had a person who regularly seems to insist that I am massively homophobic and constantly being giving homosexual slurs on my streams. Now, the way that they've been trying to slant this is by asking me questions like, given your rampant homophobia, how would you react if your son came out as homosexual? And it's just, you know that particular type. I'm trying to think of how you phrase that. There's a type of thing where you say, like if I was to turn to Crit Source and say, given the fact that you regularly murder women, Crit Source, have you decided to stop murdering women lately? You know, this blatant lie baked into a question kind of a thing. I forget what that's called, but...
Where is Jinroku?
He left quickly after you went to the bath. It must have been important.
I'll find him.
Yeah, I bet he did. Where is he? Where is he? No, there's nothing, Dream Whisperer. There's nothing. I obviously have no way to prove to you guys that I am in fact a tolerant person. But one of the things that always amuses me is you see this style of beard I have, the chin strap or whatever. One of my friends actually recommended it to me. He was homosexual, and he said he thought it would look good on me and highlight my chin. I agreed. He's a good guy.
I don't want to kill you. Stop!
I haven't talked to him in years.
I challenge you to a duel!
You want to fight me?
Yes, it's the only way.
Okay.
If that's your wish, I accept.
Alright, here we go. This is going to be the hardest duel in the game. You ready for this? I am ready to defeat... I forgot his name already.
Wait, I don't want to die. I surrender. I'm sorry.
Tell me who you really are.
I'm nobody. I was just trying to survive.
You're impersonating a samurai and bringing dishonor to the name. And you're taking advantage of those women.
I know. Please, my lord, let me live. I'll never go back there again.
Leave. And if I ever see you wearing that armor again, we will finish our duel.
I thought so too, Dream Whisperer. I was ready to go forward and just shunk. And I figured I'd one-shot him, which is what I was expecting.
I wasn't hurting anyone.
Fool. I should tell those women the truth.
Wait, the farm's this way? What's this way? Okay. Of course I would, Consulate. He's a samurai. And he has to die. Yeah, no, we've been a pretty lenient lord so far. Which I'm okay with. It's nice to play a decent person. Who murders thousands upon thousands of Mongolians. I guess it's not really murders at that point. I mean, really, I don't think that qualifies as murder, so I'm going to take that back. We kill thousands of samurai. Hey, so FYI.
Lord Sakai, welcome back.
Jinroku wasn't the man you thought. He wasn't a samurai at all.
Ah, he told you the truth.
You knew he was lying?
He seemed harmless, and we enjoy having him around. I hope you didn't kill him.
He's alive, but he won't be coming back.
I'll tell the others he left on an important mission. We were fine without him. We will be again.
Okay. Sure. I know, right? Salmon-wise. Okay. Yeah, he was just amusing. Or good in bed, I don't know. Where are they? Oh god. Vampires or succubi. Take your pick. Ooh, no thank you.
Stay away, my lord. The spirits of vengeful samurai haunt this forest.
Why are you spouting nonsense?
It's true. This was once a place of refuge. Now, all who enter the forest are never seen again.
We're at war. People go missing.
But even the Mongols fear this place. Wait until nightfall, my lord. That's when death stalks the forest.
Well, looks like nightfall to me. Let's do it. Yeah, no,
After tonight, he won't need to spin tales of murderous spirits.
I pray you are right, my lord.
I mean, I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying, I'm even going to say it in the rumination. We are Worf. We are a full-tilt son of Moog. Yeah, go ahead, Zach Taft. I understand. Ugh, I know that's today. That's like all day, isn't it? Thank you very much, Who Cares 123. Very much appreciate the sub as always. Thank you. Unfortunately, I can't actually put that to Dead Space 2 while you were gone, and I do hope things are getting better for you. Dead Space 2 is funded. In fact, it's the next game we're playing. So, if you want to put that towards something else, I can totally do that. Alright, time to kill some Mongols who are pretending to be evil spirits.
Just some lost oxen.
But it's probably going to be a little over a month before we get to that game, just as a heads up. Speaking of which, as a reminder, the Ruminations floodgates are open as of right now. And if you don't know how that works, well, don't worry about it. But if you are curious, I can answer you about it. I have found the evil spirits. Yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff I don't want to watch, Mr. Red. Not everything. What I mean is I'm more paying attention to the things I'd rather not watch than the things I'd rather watch.
Abandoned.
Put simply. Ignore the voices. Ignore the voices. Ignore the voices.
The caretaker heard strange noises at night. Then he went missing.
Oh, cool, Ruth. I'm not into Samurai Jack personally, but I know quite a few people who are. So that's awesome. Yes, our uncle is quite free. Meanwhile, Huanta, who is also pure evil. Thank you very much, Huanta. As ever, appreciate the sub. Thank you. I'll put that towards Dragon Guard. Nah, it's okay. It's not that bad of a game. I remember getting this super giant two-handed sword. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the biggest sword in the game. And it has the most damage. I was thinking, oh, this will be awesome. And then I actually used it. Yeah. Halo Wars, you got it. That I can do. No, I did not, Salmon-wise. At least if I did, I didn't find it. And good morning, Sir Tree the Chill. I mean, it's an okay game, I guess. Oh god, it was ridiculous. It was actually hard to hit enemies with it. That's how slow it was. And considering Drakengard's a game about killing hundreds of people at once, you don't really want to be going that slow.
Decapitated. Looks like he was trying to get away from someone.
Yes, the evil spirit. Ooh, it's not this direction. Maybe they were back. Maybe I should go back the way I was just coming from, and destroy the 10-headed Hydra once and for all. No, I think Ride to Hell Retribution's got it beat. But, you know, that is kind of hard to surpass. Thank you very much, 10-headed Hydra. As always, appreciate. However, I cannot put that towards VTMB1, because that's already a funded run. So if you want to put that towards something else, or nominating a film to ruminate on for the next year, you can do that instead. Okay, I actually don't know where to go here, and I'm kind of turned around and lost, and this sucks. So, this is going very quickly from being atmospheric to being boring. I don't know. I really don't know. Is Pathologic 2 funded here? Let me check really quick. Pathologic. Yes, Pathologic 2 is funded. There's the cows, and there's the house. And is this the same house I just left? This way. Drakengard's fine. It just has rampant incest and weird for weird's sake. And women who eat babies. Literally.
A cut made by a fine blade. With unskilled hands. Murdered. The tales aren't completely false.
Yes, I did, Pika. Yes, the Arkham games are coming up a ways from now. It's okay, they toned down the ridiculous levels of incest in the English version. It's still there. It's not what it is in the Japanese version. The game's still pretty squicky, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Looking for bodies. Looking for bodies. Not finding any bodies on the road.
Not this way.
Oh, thanks for that. Yes, I do, Disco. But I like AC4, so take that with a grain of salt. I already went through it. Yeah, it was slotted in during the I'm being more lenient phase, which we are no longer in, consequently. probably Pika, depending on what's shown. Like, for example, normally I'd be like, of course I'll talk about the Nintendo Mini Direct, but there's nothing to talk about other than the fact that they're working on SMT5. So, woo, they're working on SMT5, that's good, but that's it as far as news. So we'll see what the Xbox thing actually has. Of course, Montauk, go for it. Thank you for asking, though. Following the lights. Following the lights. Back out to the entrance. Hey, dude! No, okay, fine, whatever. See, I didn't want to do this because it slows my move speed to a crawl, but yeah, I think at this point that's kind of where we're at. So yeah, we went, that's the house, which we've already been into twice. Look here, there's a light. There's some other lights. Other light. Aw. I might, Pika? I mean, it is my job to. I don't see why that would change the equation, Disco. I mean, unless you happen to, you know, like playing with the dual controller thing like I do, in which case that would just make it more valuable, not less. Oh, for God's sakes!
Decapitated. As if the killer were imitating tales of samurai vengeance.
Did not see these pop-ups last time I was
Someone else
here.
here. Maybe they got away.
I mean, as long as it's a good port, right, Disco? Ah, I see what happened. Yeah, see, that's also valid. Several people are going to tell you different stories about which AC games they like and which they don't. For example, Pika likes Odyssey. I couldn't stand it. So, perspective, opinions, etc. Well, I still haven't played Syndicate, although we will be playing that later this year. Okay, back to the rock. Doo-doo-doo. Now to the left. Stopping. Yeah, I was actually literally about to give up on this quest because I don't care that much and I have other things to do with my time. Going left. Okay. Leftish. Maybe this is what the left you want me to go. There's a lot of left over here. I think I'm going to assume you want the road. Back to the road. Stop crouching.
Campfire. Someone must be there. This was recent. The killer must be close.
That's actually an interesting question. Hey, look! I can suddenly see where I'm going. No, I like Origins. Origins was a good game.
Someone ran this way.
Pretty sure we reviewed Origins. Pretty sure. Question.
This was staged to scare people away.
Just one guy. Took his head.
If we keep this up, we'll have the forest to ourselves as long as we like.
Right? Even the Mongols avoid it now.
Chopping. Let's check. Has to be him. Knew it.
butchers!
Get down!
The tale is true. The samurai spirit. Buddha, protect me.
The forest is safe. That should give the man by the road a new tale to tell.
Oh, I was really hyped for the for the Peloponnesian War Assassin's Creed game. I don't know if you saw my coverage of the E3 where they actually announced Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but I was really excited for it when it came out. Again, no offense intended to people who like it. I know plenty of people who like it. I'm pretty sure I'm the outlier for, really not liking it. It was funny when I actually reviewed it and people were like, what the hell is wrong with you?
You survived the night.
Yeah, what's up?
And you have a new tale to tell. Murderous bandits once made the sacred forest their home, but the spirits of the samurai who protect these woods were angered. The last warrior of Clan Sakai heard their anguished howls.
You rid the forest of the killers, and the spirits of the fallen samurai were grateful. A good story. As if the samurai spirits summoned you here to save their forest.
Yeah, from what I've been told since the game came out, the side content is superior to the main content, which wouldn't surprise me at all, because I really wasn't digging the main plot. And the modern plot, pfft, I've never seen the modern plot be that bad. I suppose that's not fair. The modern plot was just as bad in Origins. No, of course not, Pika. I'm streaming, dude. I already answered this question. I will probably watch it sometime in the next week to cover it during Lore Week. But right now, I'm busy. I got work to do. I mean, you could just go out and attack ships to your heart's content, Disco, if you really want to. Honestly, I'd kind of prefer no plot to the plot we had in Origins and Odyssey. I've also heard rumors, asterisk, that the reason the modern plot was so destroyed was because of executive meddling, which would explain why, among other things, the main, big bad of the entire franchise was killed off camera in a comic book just a few months before. It's just, ugh. I'm sorry, that's not even a spoiler. That's just, what the hell were you thinking? Apparently there are indications that Juno was supposed to be involved in Origins, that there were actually, quests related to her, and nope!
My lord, could I speak with you?
The invaders are gone.
It's not that, my lord. A group of bandits is terrorizing Komoda. They slaughtered my whole family, like animals.
Then I'll hunt them down like animals. Where did they kill your family?
At our home, north of here, on the river.
I'll pick up the bandits' trail there. What's your name?
Saki, my lord.
I will avenge your family, Saki.
God, I know, Salmon Wise. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't like using the term Mary Sue, but... And I usually apply it a lot more stricter than other people do, but he is a super Mary Sue. He's almost as bad as that half Draenei, half Orc, half human priest, mage, shaman from the Warcraft comics, who has thankfully been made non-canon. Madon, yeah. No, Desmond's kid. Good source. Oh my god. Way upriver.
Hiya!
I mean, I know I'm repeating myself for the umpteenth time, but I really do think that Watch Dogs should have picked up the main plot and the fight against the modern Templars and the corporate system and blah blah blah. And the AC game should have stuck with the old stuff, you know? My opinion. And I'm not just saying that because I love continuity. I do think that would have been a good move to just split the narratives off. Because Desmond... Okay. Small spoilers for the Assassin's Creed series here, okay? Spoilers. I always felt that Desmond was the glue between modern and old. He was what made that work for me. And his story and his tale was part of why that was relevant. Now, Desmond himself was kind of a non-character, and there were some issues with his characterization. It's not like he was the best character ever, but he was nevertheless the linchpin that connected the two halves. With him gone, the modern plot has just been... and it's so obvious they have no idea what they're doing with it. Villains? Oh, yeah, you are. Okay. So here's mounted combat. Oh, yeah. Check out that mounted combat. Oh, and we're dismounted.
Get down! Down!
Only in cutscenes. I think there's actually a thing that lets you do it in gameplay, but I don't have it yet, Adam.
Must be Saki's home. Should check inside.
So are the Mongols the Templars here? I really don't remember what the Mongols were in AC. Because they have actually talked about that.
He tried to fight back.
Oh, I agree, Cashel. Layla is probably supposed to be the new Desmond. And by probably, I mean absolutely with total certainty. Layla is supposed to be the new Desmond. I'm not going to spoil Assassin's Creed Odyssey, especially the DLC, but... yeah, no, they wanted her to be the new Desmond. And she's awful, in my opinion. In addition to being not really an interesting character, which, again, Desmond kind of had that problem, she's actively irritating, and... I can't say more without spoiling, so let's just say, no thank you.
Killed in cold blood.
Let's just walk away from that one.
A map marking this location. What's it say? And then we can finally be together. This was no random attack. Nothing else here. I should check outside.
Madon from Warcraft, Desmond's son in Assassin's Creed, and Layla in Assassin's Creed.
Died trying to protect his family.
Weird, because I actually know someone named Layla in real life, and it keeps weirding me out every time I hear that word. It's like, oh. I remember Pika. Who's the worst, Mauricio? Madon. No, I take that back. There's one in the Blizzard books who's, like, not Protoss. He's human, but his psychic potential is beyond the Protoss. And, like, he's just... Oh, God. I can't even remember his name, and you know what? That's a good thing. Screw him. Yeah, you'll notice they haven't advertised the modern plot at all with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You can't tell me that's an accident. It's not even part of the marketing stint. Yeah, he bonded a preserver. Sure, sure. That's might as well be a thing. Why not? Actually, I was thinking about how things can poison things we love. And I'm sure anybody who likes Star Wars recently would, you know, talk about that. But I'm not going to talk about Star Wars because it's against my own rules to do so. This is day 3, Spartan. Where the hell is this stupid... What? What? There's nothing here. No, let's just go under.
A lot of men here, headed for the road.
Yeah, self-inserts can be Mary Sue, but those are two unconnected problems. Although they can be much worse when they do get connected. Yeah, sure, Hazardous, go ahead. No, I'm going to refuse to answer your question because I'm a dick and violating my own rule. Anyways. Max Time does have a valid point. They have been completely ignoring the modern story in advertising since 4. And that is absolutely a valid point to bring up. I mean, if you remember, the modern story basically wasn't in Origins. It was one of my biggest complaints about it. Not only was it bad, it wasn't there. It was like, oh, hey, and then you're in the Animus. And then, I'll never forget this because this is hysterical. You leave the Animus, and then there's a bunch of stuff you can interact with and look at and be like, hey, you know, that's cool, and that's whatever. Because it's 5 hours. That is too long, Hazardous. That is beyond the limit. That is exactly the answer to your question. So, you know, you leave the Animus, and there's a bunch of stuff you can interact with to try and, you know, get lore on the modern story. You know, little dialogues or audio tapes or books you can read. But the whole time you're doing it, the Animus is going beep, 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 beep. Hey, you should go back into the Animus. Beep, beep. And I'm not even making this up. You saw this on stream for those of you who were there for it. It's just, there's an in-game thing irritating you. It's like as if someone was like, no, stop paying attention to the modern plot. Just go back to the past. Beep, beep, go back to the past. Beep. Christ.
My lord.
What happened here?
I heard the old Ketchy farm was freed. Thought I'd bring them horses and medicine. Bunch of bandits found me first. Took everything.
Any idea where they were headed?
They mentioned Komoda village. Whatever's left of it.
I'll head there. Can you walk?
No.
Ketchy isn't far.
I think so. Find those bastards. They thought this was funny.
God, stupid friggin' thing. Anyway, sorry. So how would I attach this game to Assassin's Creed? I would probably have this be... So one of the ideas that's come up several times in the series is that the Assassins and the Templars both are ideologies, not literal organizations. Oh, sure, they're literal organizations at various points in history, but the point is, I would have Jin be an assassin by mentality, not by organization. I would have him be someone who espouses those ideas of freedom and choice and blah, 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 simply because that's who he is. And you can't tell me, hang on, you can't tell me that, what's his name, Khotan Khan, doesn't have some vibes of being a Templar. Exactly, Takoya. Now you understand the truth. Because the idea here is, given how this story is going, I almost guarantee you that we're going to move further and further away from duty the further on into the series that we go. Or this game that we go, rather. So. I should probably just fast travel over there. Game of the Year contender? I think it's going to be a contender, but
Komoda
I
Village.
mean,
The bandits could be here.
Send your best
as
warrior.
Hazardous says, there's been some good games this year, and there will be good games in the future, no doubt, too.
Imagine you killed your whole family to be with the man you love. A few days later, he gets rid of you. What would you do?
Bandits. Yeah, well, unfortunately, this is a PS4 game, so, you know. All the bandits have the spears. God. I did some non-plot stuff off camera, yes, Spartan. I don't know if I'd call that practicing. I was doing it while, you know, watching. Prep for something. Which I'll be doing as soon as we finish the next game. Yeah, I guess.
If you tell me the truth, what were these men laughing at?
Some poor girl. She was in love with Haruo. He was in charge. She told him where her family hid their rice.
Was her name Saki?
Yes, Saki. She thought Haruo would return her affection. Instead, he killed her family, took the rice, and left her in the ditch.
And I was the instrument of her revenge. Get out of here!
I mean, the bandits deserve to die anyway, so I
going to have a word
don't
with Saki.
really feel bad about that. I was actually thinking about it. Rice, millet, and fish doesn't sound very appealing, but it'd probably be pretty healthy. I wonder if you could grow potatoes on Japan. I mean, it was that or burn the world, Pika. Although it's interesting they didn't even give us a choice. I don't know much enough about agriculture to know if they really could do anything here. Here we go.
Stand and fight me!
Hey, bandits, listen. You're gonna die. I warned him. I warned him. That would be interesting if the whole game was centered around spear combat rather than sword combat. That could be fun. I mean, don't mistake me, I love the sword combat, but oh, imagine this level of quality in combat with a spear.
What's going on here?
It's a strange tragedy, my lord.
Where is Saki?
She drowned herself in the river. From what I understand, she blamed herself for the death of her family.
She was manipulated by the bandits you met on the road. They won't do any more harm.
Thank you, my lord. Perhaps some good will come of this.
That would be awesome, Adam. Come and face me! Wait a minute! That's Jin! The ghost! Pause. I mean, Terrify is a special effect in this game. I just haven't gotten most of those upgrades.
The camp of survivors.
I've got like 5.
The one outside Umugi Cove? It's cursed. People go missing.
The people there are vulnerable, without a place to call home. Easy prey for criminals.
Many of the survivors have lost their families, loved ones. There's something strange going on.
Yeah,
I'll put a stop to it.
Heard the Mongols are taking blacksmiths into their camps and forcing them to make weapons.
The spirit of Yarikawa's vengeance has returned, my lord. It's been killing people in the old ruins.
I haven't heard of this spirit. You're sure this isn't the Mongols' doing?
You don't know the legend of Lord Yarikawa's final curse? The musician Yamato tells it better than anyone. He's near old Yarikawa now.
I'll look for him. Get to the bottom of this.
One of the things I liked most about Assassin's Creed Origins was the multiple weapons. And how they actually, you know, played differently. Soten style. Is that better? Is that everything? That is everything. Okay, so... let's go get this stupid bow. Oh, haha, hazardous. Anyways, someone asked, is the cape mandatory? No, this is the travel outfit, which I specifically have on because it reveals more of the map. It offers me no benefits other than the fact that it reveals more of the map. So that's the only reason I have it.
Come, see what I can make for you, my lord.
Nah.
Goodbye.
May your hunts be successful.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I'm kind of feeling a negative for the HUD approach in general. I should jot that down. I'll probably get flamed for that since it's a very deliberate design choice, but honestly, no, I'm not into it. I do not think they did the work they needed to do in order to make a no HUD situation work. My opinion. Where? Salmon-wise? No, I mean the HUD is badly designed, because this is the HUD. The HUD is that wind, which is not designed properly, in my honest opinion. This is probably the most obvious when you're going down a hill. But I've already been there. You're lying to me. Okay, fine. It's probably like up there or something. We'll do that after we do the legendary quest. Anyways. And so the wind will do... it'll do this. Or not. And it'll be like, whoosh. And it's just either hard to see or not very visible or whatever. The fact that you don't really have a good idea on how to see what north is kind of irritating without just doing this and seeing what direction you're facing. The fact that there actually are, like, indicators of this is where your thing is, but you have to swipe up to activate it is terrible. So forth and so on.
Do you need anything, my lord?
Like, I've seen worse, but this is not what I would call good. Just looking at the options here. That's good. Minimalist HUD can work, but if you're going to design a minimalist HUD, you have to design it very, very well. That's the catch. I'm not wasting them. Salmon was.
Maybe they never will.
Lord Sakai, after you cleared the bridge, we headed straight here.
Oh. Good. I'll talk to you in a second. I'm kind of busy Batmaning here. Yes, Tesla. I have to turn off the camera every time I do it. To avoid the wrath of Twitch.
How's the boy?
Better, my lord. The hot springs are helping him forget.
See, now I'm trying to think of an example of a minimalist hug that I've liked, and I actually can't come up with one. I'm sure there is one, I can't think of one right now. Whoa, that was weird.
My lord, you must be weary from battle. Come, soak in the healing waters of these hot springs. Replenish your strength for the challenges to come.
I must be at my best for all of them.
Then follow me, my lord.
Okay. You got it, Ten-Headed Hydra. I'll put it to Code Reese. See, you're naming a bunch of games that don't really strike me as having minimalist HUDs.
And if you make a habit of it, the waters will grant you a long and prosperous life.
Like, minimalist HUD is this.
Enter here. The waters are warm and calming.
I'm just gonna do this really quick. No reason. Naked Jin. I reflect on my father.
I'll never forget the day he was killed. I could have saved my father. If only I was older, stronger. If I wasn't so afraid.
For the record, I am actually totally fine with a minimalist HUD, as long as it's a toggle or an option.
Surely you will triumph over our enemies.
I feel ready to take on the whole Mongol army. Thank you.
It was my pleasure. There are hot springs all over the island.
Really?
Make use of them. Take time to heal and reflect. The practice will keep your body ready for battle, my lord.
See you around, Adam. Good nights. But yeah, like, I wouldn't mind. I prefer it if there's a full HUD. And then if you want, you can toggle it off. Which I believe Witcher 3 let you do? Question mark. At the very least, I had mods that let me do that, because I did that to capture footage. And I believe Skyrim actually allows you to turn off several aspects of the HUD, too. Probably President of the United States, Salmon was. Or someone in similar position of power. Okay, so that does sound like what I was saying. Stop sneaking!
Come, my lord. The story of Uchitsune awaits. Long ago, an emperor and his palace were plagued by a winged demon. The emperor sent for Uchitsune, the most renowned archer of his time, who wielded a bow blessed by a kami. When the demon next came, Uchitsune was ready, longbow in hand. His aim was truer, and his arrows flew farther than any archers in Japan. Uchitsune loosed a single arrow. It pierced the demon's heart. As it fell to the ground, it cursed Uchitsune with its final breath. Soon after, Uchitsune saw the forms of the demon everywhere. His legendary bow never missed, but each arrow that hit its mark was met with a very human scream. The trail of bodies led to his capture. Though many called for Uchitsune's death, the Emperor felt pity for him. Uchitsune was banished to Tsushima Island. He died years later, alone and forgotten by all but a few. The demon-slaying longbow has remained hidden here since his passing. Some say it awaits a worthy master. Others believe it still holds the demon's curse.
Cursed or not, the bow sounds powerful.
Take care, my lord. The bow inspires darkness in those who seek it.
I'll bear that in mind. The question is where to begin looking.
To quiet his mind, Uchitsune often walked the coast, obsessed with the blue hydrangeas that grew there. Perhaps they'll provide a clue.
Blue hydrangeas like the musician mentioned. I must be close.
No. I mean, remember, most of these games were in development years ago. I don't think they were thinking about trends when they did them. That being said, there are obviously, waves when it comes to media. So who knows? I suppose that's fair to Koda, but that implies that a bunch of developers said, hey, in a few years the Olympics are going to be in Japan. Let's make Japanese centered games. I mean, I'm not saying that's impossible, but no, I don't buy that for a second. Then again, we've seen that a lot of executives will make decisions for really, really dumb reasons, so who friggin' knows? Which is funny, because this game was actually delayed. Not because it, needed to be, but because they didn't want it to go up against The Last of Us 2. Which is funny, because I think this game beats the pants out of The Last of Us 2, but what the hell do I know? I mean, ignoring the fact that its score is absolutely destroying Last of Us 2, there's also just general quality. And enjoyment. I'm actually enjoying this game. That's funny you say that, Mr. Ed, because I would argue that executives actually only know how to lose money, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, I know. None of us could have predicted how bad Last of Us 2 was going to be, right? I mean, when was the last time a successful game or franchise managed to have a critically acclaimed franchise had a sequel that was mixed in terms of reception? That's never happened before. It would be like Loke the Night Reaper actually putting money towards Halo Wars. That's utterly impossible. What's interesting is we had... So, companies are not actually required to reveal their sales figures to, you know, outlets and whatnot. They're only required to reveal that information to shareholders. And even though those, they can be misleading about how they reveal their information, right? I bring this up because several people have said The Last of Us 2 is very well selling. But The Last of Us 2 has also had an almost unprecedented amount of refunds and returns. And, what I'm trying to say is it would be curious to know how much money the game actually made. Put simply. And yeah, that's another thing. They almost never actually tell you how much they made. They say, units moved. And units moved does not actually equal sales. There's a whole lot of misleading crap about that, which just irritates the piss out of me. Just tell me the frickin' truth, so I can actually do an... No, sorry, pet peeve. If I was an executive or a CEO, and someone was doing misleading marketing information or sales figures, I'd fire them on the spot. I'm not even joking. Because all you're doing is making it harder to do accurate marketing data in order to actually predict what you should do going forwards. It'd be like if I'm a general of a freaking army, and the scout comes to me and starts lying to me about what the enemy forces are doing, because that general, or because that scout has some kind of agenda, or because they're trying to get a promotion, or whatever stupid thing. And so I'm making decisions as the leader of this army, trying to do the right thing, and I'm getting false info. Huge pet peeve of mine. Sorry. Thank you, Blue Master, very, very much for the sub. Very much appreciated and obliged. Thank you. If you happen to know what game or rumination you'd like to put that towards, please let me know. Do the Mongolian thing, Tesla. Impale him on an ant mound, and then run away, and then just leave.
That tomb is cracked open. An island surrounded by blue flowers. Uchitsune's bow could be there. Uchitsune's resting place.
Nice tomb, actually.
Stop searching for the cursed bow. It leads only to death.
Okay. Time to go searching for the cursed bow.
He wore the mask of a Tengu demon. And that was a warning shot. Can't let my guard down. We're in this together.
You know, it's funny that Sora's teleporting, since that was one of the only powers he never mastered back in Kingdom Hearts. I was actually thinking about how ridiculous political power is. Let's say you have all the political power. Let's just jump ahead to that presumption, right?
Hey!
Now let's say you're in charge and you're doing a good job and everything's prospering and blah, 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 blah. And all it takes for that to go away is one angry guy with a knife, one unfortunate trip down a set of staircases, one car accident, one disease. It's so fragile. I'm sorry, this is just something that was in my head last night. Yeah, one case is food poisoning. Deliberately or otherwise.
Hold still.
It's one of the reasons why I have never bothered.
Be careful up there.
Please.
Because it's so fragile and pointless. It's like, woo! I am in charge of this great nation / army / country / company. Whoops! And it's gone. And it's gone. Pretty sure that's the island I want right there. I mean, right? No? Okay. No, that's gotta be it. I mean, I'm staring right at it. But how do I get down? I know how to get down. Enjoy, SA2K. I was literally just thinking to myself, I wish I had my hang glider that I had in Shantae or Breath of the Wild. Or hell, a parachute from Ghost Recon Wildlands. So, I don't actually know how the game wants me to get down. Listen, I'm just saying, I see a cliff, my first thought is to jump over it. It's true, Baron. 3 seconds of mistake and... wrong hand. Gone. I was even thinking about it, so if we wanted to expand it, let's assume a fantasy scenario, okay? Let's assume that there's this kind, benevolent dictator who takes over a country and renovates it and takes care of the people and improves their livelihood and gives them the proper health care and gives them the proper state of living and manages the economy and gets everything working. Everything's great, right? It's a truly prosperous kingdom. And then he dies. What do you think happens? You know what? I don't feel like dealing with the boars right now. Yeah, nothing good. Nothing good is the answer to that question. And yeah, that's just history talking. What's the point? It wasn't you, Platty. Jesus Christ, get up. Not in the movie. How the hell? You craft. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's craft our successor. That may or may not work. Historically, it usually doesn't. I mean, I know that that's why a lot of succession crises have happened over history, and None of them have gone particularly well. I was about to say badly, but no, the opposite of badly. They have gone very badly. That worked? Okay. I'm not going to question it. There's a toad here. I'm not going to question that either. Oh, thank God Platy's back. I'd ask for my donuts, but they're not here for some reason. Why are my donuts not here, Platy? Train them. Yeah, sure. Hazardous, sure. That can go well. It can also go very badly. No, this feels like the wrong way. Why would I pray to a toad? It's a toad! This isn't Jade Empire. Okay, fine. There. Ah! Ah! Well, I'm trying to figure out how to go down to climb it. So, yes, I am looking at the ground. Like, it looks like it wants me to go there. Well, yeah, I had a tracking quest, and then another tracking quest, and then I needed to follow flowers. Actually, I need to follow something else first. Then I need to follow flowers. All of these things are on the ground. What do you want from me? Okay, fine. Up. Yeah, seriously, can I just have my hang glider? Can that be a thing, please? Please, game. I'll be your best friend. Just give me my hang glider. This feels like I'm going up, not down. Wow, that sun came out just abruptly. Now this is probably the first time this has truly felt Assassin's Creed-y, is this quest right here. I was actually just thinking the same thing, Dakota. How the hell did they build this? It's okay, we're superhuman because we're half Isu. Jump! Yeah, that's probably why. Yes, because we have the code of the samurai. We can grip ledges really well, apparently. How are we gonna get back? I don't know about you guys, I'm gonna teleport back. Yeah. I would not want to fall from here. I have mountain climbed in real life, but not like this. And not to this extent. Yeah, they'd never find the body. Yep. Flowers. The most valuable of all resources. Oh yeah, I do this every Thursday. This is just this is my normal workout right here. So I don't think this is it. We didn't have the system back then, console, so we haven't reviewed it yet. Slowly regen health out of combat. Ooh. Ooh. I will equip that. If I can find it. Can I only have one elite? No, I could have multiple. Why can't I put the elite down here? Oh, okay. Well, hang on. So let's do this. And then this. This. Just move these around for some friggin' reason. There we go. So I'm guessing that's it over there. Because that's the only other island in this area. I shouldn't have done that. God, where the hell am I now? I bet I'm at the top of the cliff. Oh, here we go. Oh, I see where I am. I see where I am. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Hi, Cord. So that's where I just was. When I'm done with the Star Trek stuff, hazardous. However long that takes. I say that looks like I need to be on the coast, but I don't think I actually can be on the coast. There was a kill plane down there. That usually means no. I was actually just thinking that. There's a bunch of pottery and crafted stuff here. Where did that come from? Oh, why didn't I take this path last time? Sheesh. A lot quicker. Yep, nope, there's the flowers. I can see them from here. Alright. Hang on, let me test something. See, kill plane. The last time. All in favor of giving up? Like this feels like a waste of my time at this point. I'm not even sure why I'm bothering. Okay. So far there's two characters. 3 characters I care about. Masako Yuna and, you know, this person. Jin, I mean.
More blue flowers.
Yeah, Zelda has forever spoiled me on the you can climb literally everywhere mechanic. Also known as one of the better mechanics in video gaming, and yeah, I'm willing to say that. Yeah, the rain, which just freaking ruins it, but other than the... I really hope they fix the rain in 2. Stay here, Sora. And then suddenly lightning strikes the water. Yeah, who knows? We might actually not have the durability problem in the rain. If it wasn't for those 2 things, that game would rate a lot higher.
A mountain surrounded by blue flowers. Uchitsune's bow could be there.
I gave 3 negatives to the durability problem overall. You've got to be kidding me. Really, game? Okay, fine. No.
Continue your search, and Tsushima will fall.
Enough. Speak plainly.
This is your last chance. Leave the boat alone.
No. Honestly, that wouldn't surprise me, Dark Prince Revan. It reminds me of a oddly insidious aspect of reviewing culture, which I don't know if it's still a true thing or not. And it's the word cinematic. You're probably thinking, well, what's so insidious about the word cinematic? Well, several people would use cinematic to praise video games that were less video game and more movie. Now, I haven't seen that in a while, admittedly, but yeah.
Blue flowers. This is the right way.
I do love these flowers. They're very pretty.
The bow must be there.
Time to fight the monk. Who has a bow? Hello, Mike.
Uchitsune's longbow.
And we're drugged.
Where am I?
Your bow is cursed. You will see nothing but death to the end of your days.
What? Last of Us 2, Horde. Excuse me. You can't skip this. Every time a duel happens, there's this whole lead up. Oh, I can play it.
Do you not fear the demon's curse?
First, I'll drive the Mongols from our home. After that, I'll worry about curses.
No, we're just drugged.
You see, the demon will haunt you.
That's actually a nice transition, the birds covering the camera there.
The curse of Uchitsune.
It is drugs. Kids, don't do drugs. You'll be cursed. Oh god. Now I'm thinking of a setting where both drugs and magic exist, and you could actually literally curse drugs. I didn't know drugs were in Warhammer. Alright, so let's head here. Well, yeah, you could make the drugs more addictive, or you could add mind control effects to it, or you could add a thing where it just, makes you die, Depending on what your motive is in cursing the drugs.
That's my soda.
One more thing before I get the white paint. I don't actually know much about drugs in the Shadowrun setting. I don't think I want to, considering the Shadowrun setting. No, that definitely is a thing, Mike. It just doesn't bother me all that much because it's just our uncle being stucco. Put it this way, you know how Infamous was like good good Cole, bad Cole. This is not good Cole, bad Cole. The gameplay and narrative are completely segregated, and I'm okay with that. Really, you want me to go towards the? Okay, fine. But yeah, no, there is a total gameplay and story segregation thing going on. You choose how you play, not how your character is. You don't get to choose Jin. There's no role-playing whatsoever. It's not even like Witcher 3, where you can choose the flavor of Geralt you play. No, 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 no. You are Jin, the end. And yeah, I really have a feeling that too many people just... I hate to say this, but I think too many people just are attached to the idea of choices in games being a good thing to the detriment of the design and enjoyment of the games themselves. Now, I know that sounds like a really weird thing since I'm so in favor of choices in game, but allow me to explain what I mean by that. Do you think Infamous would have been a better game if there was no good versus bad, if it was just Infamous and all that extra time and effort had been spent on making the narrative? Right? Like, admittedly, I'm thinking of this in more of a time and development kind of a thing, but... Now, in some games, choices are kind of integral. And, in fact, I would go so far as to say critical. So it depends. What exactly are you going for, and what type of game are you playing? But... I have noticed a weird trend, especially in the last, God, 5 or 6 years, that, you know, games have to have multiple endings. Games have to have multiple paths and blah, 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 blah. And we were actually talking about that, and I don't remember which game, but it was a semi-recent game where I was talking about how I felt like the multiple endings thing actually hurt the game in question. I don't remember which game that was, but it was semi-recent. It was just within the last couple of months.
Thank you for everything.
It might have been Persona 5? No. It was before Persona 5. I guess I could look at my own. Hang on, let me go to lorerunner.com. But my overall point is I don't think something should or should not have choices. I think that needs to depend on the specific. Like, for example, Dragon Age Origins absolutely should have had choices. And it did, and that's awesome. No, it was Grand Theft Auto 4. That's what it was. It was Grand Theft Auto 4. Because there are choices in that game which shouldn't be, to be completely blunt. And it was also Grand Theft Auto 5. Because Grand Theft Auto 5 had the bad ending, the neutral ending, the good ending. And honestly, none of them, like the bad ending, the neutral ending, were just not good and didn't really add anything. You know? So yeah, no, it was the GTAs that I was thinking of. So you're gonna let me stand off? No, you're not gonna let me stand off. Okay, that sucks. Hello? No, I can stand off on my horse. It's a good thing, because otherwise I would never get to stand off while on my horse. If you try to get off your horse, you will always fail to stand off. I tend to agree, Cord. But yeah. One of the questions that was actually asked during GTA 4 and 5 was why the multiple endings? And the presumption that we came up with was that it's because that's what you do. You have to have choice in video games, right? But yeah, the only point I was trying to make is that it depends. And I think in this game it works fine with there not being a choice. Yeah, I have no idea why it didn't work, Zenjerk. I was hitting up. Shrug. I got nothing. Doesn't matter. They died. That's the important part. Thank you very, very much, the Action Man. Always appreciate those subs. Thank you. If you'd like to put that towards increasing priority in a future stream, or nominating a movie for next year's Ruminations, you can do so. Either way, let me know, please, and thank you. That's another game I don't think should have choices. Metal Gear Solid. Shovel Knight, you got it. I don't know why that pattern just didn't fit in my head. So do I think Dragon Age 2 should have choices? Yes. It took me a second, but yes. Even though it's more linear and more narrative, the fact is there are still things that you should be able to choose, in my opinion. In Dragon Age 2. And in fact, several of my complaints come from the fact that you don't have choices for several things in Dragon Age 2. Okay. What major game doesn't have choices that should have them? Mass Effect 3. No, I'm just memeing. I'd have to think
You
about
won't
that.
find these elsewhere, my lord. I thought all the samurai were dead.
Is that any way to greet a visitor?
Forgive my manners, my lord. I spend all my time alone. My only company is dyes and brushes, lacquer and cloth. I've perfected a shade of white like sparkling virgin snow in frozen jogaku. Bring me the necessary ingredients, and I will adorn you in white, like death itself.
Ooh. So we can have that, which looks awesome. That, which looks really awesome. I don't have that. Or that. Yeah, I'm gonna get all of that.
My work is impossible without the right materials.
Farewell.
Right. Here. So there's Kamada. Right there. Thank you very much, Potato, for the sub. Always appreciate. Thank you. I'll put that towards dealer's choice. Okay. So, we're actually done with the lower island. Woo! Should Assassin's Creed have choices? No. I do not think it should. What is a game I think should have choices?
Norio's here. No sign of any other monks, though.
I was designing a Final Fantasy game once that was heavily choice-based. It ultimately boiled down to, for reasonability purposes, 2 choices. You could do one path or the other path, depending on what you chose. I was actually modeling it off of Ogre Battle and the pseudo-net branching narrative they have there.
Lord Sakai! Norio,
Not right
where are
now.
the monks from your temple?
Not right now.
Allow me to strengthen your armor, my lord.
No. Alpha Protocol was a brilliantly beautiful choice game when it wasn't buggy as crap. That's probably the weirdest game I've ever recommended to people, because I recommend it despite the fact that it kind of sucks. But I mean, come on. Damn it, Mike. Killing me here. I am not awesome, but thank you very, very much, Mike. Always appreciate that support. Thank you very much. I will absolutely put that towards Parasite Eve. But yeah, I think Ogre Battle did choices pretty darn well. You guys probably don't remember this, but back when I was still early on in streaming... I'm not sure, Leander. I don't think I'm injured right now. Back when I was still pretty early in streaming, I did an Ogre Battle stream. And we just kept comparing it to Mass Effect 3 because your choices actually mattered. And it started off as a joke, but as we get further into it, it really did become true that in Ogre Battle your choices mattered more than in Mass Effect 3. Which was just kind of a... For those of you not aware, or don't know what you're talking about, Ogre Battle is a SNES game that came out in the 90s. A good game, too, I might add. At least I remember it fondly.
Improve your blades, my lord. Balanced, sharp, and deadly.
Cool.
Your blade is ready.
I need more everything to get the final damage upgrade.
You have my thanks.
Yes, Tactics Ogre is also worth a playthrough. I actually don't think I've played through Knights of Lotus. That's the GBA one, right? Just trying to get muddy. Don't mind me. I guess I probably shouldn't have to try to get muddy.
You're doing good, Sora.
We are invisible. You'll never see us on our white horse and our white outfit. We have become likened as unto death. Yeah, we're the Pale Rider, more or less literally.
A refugee camp. Sensei Ishikawa said he'd meet me here. He's not here. Maybe someone has seen him.
Archito knows every stone and forgotten path on
Check this out real quick. Usually there's rumors. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me?
There's a man, my lord, swinging his sword, slashing the air on the beaches of Sutsu.
Another survivor? Or a bandit?
I don't know, but I think he was crying.
Yeah, I will say Tactics Ogre did the class jobbing thing probably better than most of those. See you around, Spartan. Have a good remainder of your time. I don't know if it's night or day. Listen, I'd stream 24 hours if I could, okay? You get a lot more work done.
Do you need a new quiver or satchel? I hope it helps. Just for you. I'll make an offering for your good fortune.
I am pretty sure that at this phase of my life, I don't think I'm physically capable of streaming for 24 hours. I gotta be honest, after a 9-hour stream, that's to say a 9-hour shift, 8-hour stream, then 1 hour working and paperwork, I'm just...
I'm looking for a samurai, an archer.
The sensei headed toward the coast. He said you should catch up with him to join the hunt. And you'd know what that meant.
I hear those are big. Streams where people fall asleep on camera. And today we're gonna be talking... Yeah. I was sleep playing Ghost Recon Wildlands last week. You know how bad it was? We sit in Discord, in voice chat, chatting the whole time. Just, you know, talking, having fun, you know, like friends do. And I had to pop out of Discord chat briefly in order to do something else. Now, I didn't pop back in And I was so tired, I didn't actually realize that. I was just sitting there like, God, they're being awfully quiet. And every now and again, I'd say something. And they would be like, they wouldn't say anything because I wasn't in chat. And I was confused, like, why aren't they saying anything? Ugh, I hate being so tired you can't sleep. I know exactly what that feels like.
Over here.
And now my white outfit's all bloody. I like it.
Keep your head down.
Although I don't like the mask. I don't think the mask works. We can't hide that handsome mug. There we go.
You're wounded.
I'll survive.
You should have waited for me at the camp.
I had a lead on Tomoe. I couldn't risk losing her.
Were those her archers?
One of them shouted my name.
More on the way. Tend to your wound. I'll take them.
Yes. No, it's okay. We're deliberately not wearing our mask. Specifically to kill the Mongols. I was actually thinking about something which is unrelated to anything, but just amused me. So you know my favorite colors are black and white. The amusing part is those are the hardest colors to keep clean. That amused me, thinking about that. Where'd he go? Dude.
Not bad, Sakai.
They had you surrounded.
Tomoe taught them well.
That's not why they outmaneuvered you.
If you have an insight, share it.
You didn't notice them because you were too focused on finding Tomoe.
Even I make mistakes, Sakai.
No, you don't. Except with her.
We should get moving.
What do you know about the camp?
Archers, for the most part. Tomoe has been seen with them on raids all over Akashima.
She won their trust.
She's a useful tool to divide and conquer, for now.
Yeah, by the way, my car is white.
Tomoe betrayed you before she sided with the Mongols. But you never told me exactly what happened.
She used my teaching to help a band of assassins. They paid well.
It still doesn't explain why she attacked you.
Sakai, how does a samurai deal with an assassin?
You retaliated and attacked her.
I dealt with Tomoe as I would any common murderer.
She was your student.
I don't make exceptions, Sakai.
First, Hironori Nagao. Now, Tomoe.
Don't be the next to disappoint me.
It's a Cadillac, obviously. Scotislav. But yeah, so check this out. There's no car wash nearby. And when I say nearby, I mean within like a 30-minute range. There's no car wash around here.
What's that ahead?
And there's no external spigot.
Sport. Not sport. Practice.
They're ruthless.
Indulging violence weakens the warrior. Like too much food or drink.
You said Tomoe traveled to your dojo to study. What did she do before that?
Her mother belonged to a merchant family in Umugi. She never knew her father. Why do you ask?
Killing is not learned overnight, even for a prodigy with a bow.
She was born with a taste for bloodshed.
And yes, it's super pimped out, salmon-wise. Gold rim, spinning, neon under whatever.
Their archers hunt the people of Akashima like dogs.
Tomoe and her allies are too hungry for violence. A killer masters a weapon. A samurai masters himself.
You've devoted your life to mastering the bow.
To the bow, yes. Not to killing.
Now you're splitting hairs.
I've tied a wounded man to my horse with a bowstring. Used an arrowhead to cut meat when I had no knife.
You're saying a bow is more than a weapon.
And a samurai is more than a killer.
I mean, at least we are. Yeah, I've got the Saints logo, of course. By the way, if we ever review the Saints games, we're going super violet and blue. Just so you know.
If we can't win Tomoe back, we have no choice.
Fake Russian.
We have to kill her.
I trained her. I share the blame for her actions. I will end this.
You only share the blame if you encouraged her thirst for violence.
I made her my student. I should have seen the darkness in her.
You didn't see it, and that scares you.
It bothers me. We're nearly there. We'll approach this like Fort Nakayama.
Observe the camp, look for weaknesses. Make a plan of attack.
That's right, Sakai. Look twice and shoot once. We will go on foot from here.
I do like violet. It's easily my third favorite color.
Definitely a camp for training archers.
Oh no, me too, von Falkenstein. Biological or otherwise.
Mongolian-style archery.
A hybrid. Tomoe is teaching them.
Training to fight samurai.
We will give them more to learn.
We take the camp, then find out where she is.
The moment you attack, my arrows will strike home.
Okay. Hi. Damn it, switch stances.
I saw at Castle Kaneda. There's no proof. You are improving. Tomoe is not here.
Let's make sure. Look around.
Yes, now our robes are very bloody. As they should be. Not our sword. That's just unacceptable. And yes, our sword is almost max upgraded.
Supply list. Japanese bows and targets. Delivery locations all over Toyotama.
She's setting up more training camps.
One in Otsuna, another in Kushi, and more planned.
Truthfully, I should actually be in a different outfit right now. While we're roaming around in the new area. I should be in the traveler's outfit. Come on. Okay, I like the cloak better. Like this. Oh. Hello? Come on. It's only shown up for a millisecond. You seen that? Come on. Oh. The stone's like... Oh, there we go. There, I spared you from the stone. Yeesh. By the way, I just feel like saying, since we're talking about cars, it'll never happen, but my, I have infinite money car would be a Lotus Elise 111R. Black and white, obviously.
A message in Japanese.
With pearl.
What does it say?
Great Khan, conqueror of Tsushima. Before the year is over, your archers will know all I do about killing samurai. And I will deliver the heads of Sensei Ishikawa and Jin Sakai.
Tomoe was here. I gave her everything. And she threw it away.
She's a threat. There is only one way this ends.
I know what must be done.
Knowing and doing are different.
You are questioning whether I am samurai? Tomoe was my greatest achievement. But if I must, I will destroy her to save this island. That is my duty.
The list we found. We will use it to track down the other camps.
And we will end Tomoe's treachery. Sakai! You are a fine warrior. You could become a great leader. But do not question my integrity again.
I don't actually care for Jaguars myself. Not my style. Aston Martins are pretty though, and Alfa Romeos. Just in terms of visual appearance, Of course, we know I'd actually get a Veyron because I'm an idiot. Let's see. Now we're all the way up here. Dude, if you could get a Cobra, I'm just saying. Let's go ahead and do this. We're right here. What's this one, though? Dance of Wrath. And a sword kit. And that's it. No, I wouldn't go for a DeLorean, because as much as I like the look of the car, and I absolutely do, I'd like a car that works. So the only way to do that would be to buy a DeLorean, rip out the entirety of it internally, and completely replace it with another car. Something stock and reliable, like a Honda or whatever. Or a Volkswagen.
Show me your skill!
That bad, Hazardous? Oh, they're getting faster. They're doing double fake outs now. I mean, whichever direction you do it, Loner, you get the idea. Oh, you're a spear guy. No wonder. Oh, that would irritate me, Dakota. Why are we talking about cars? Oh yeah, because someone was asking me about my Cadillac. My gold-rimmed Cadillac with rainbow plush lining. I'm trying to think what other completely gaudy stuff I could get. Oh, okay. There's no way for you to attack me if you're gonna do that. Oh yeah, people making out in the back seat. Like, what else can we do to make this as gaudy as possible? Add a bubblegum machine in there, which actually requires a quarter for some reason. I'm not really into Lambos. I mean, don't mistake me. There are some very pretty Lambos out there. And in racing games, like racing simulators, Lamborghinis tend to be towards the higher end of cars I prefer to race as, but I don't think I would get a Lambo in real life. If I would, probably the Aventador, if I had to pick one. A fish tank with a shark in it. Just to be absolutely ridiculous about it. Oh, no, no. There was a guy who actually owned a Lambo in a city I used to live in. And if you wonder why I'm saying it like that, it's because it was kind of a thing that there was a Lamborghini owner. Just the one. He would drive it out as often as he possibly could, so that people knew that he was the one. I don't even want to know what the insurance and the maintenance of that thing was. I used to, Tesla, but I do not anymore, no. 100. So budget cars, that's a little bit different, isn't it? Because there's cheap cars that are decent, and then there's cheap cars that are crap. There's a pretty big gap between those things. Really? Ah. Okay, we'll go with that. I mean, I guess my bow is completely unupgraded, so yeah, whatever. Like, for example, my personal favorite example of a cheap car that is crap would be the Ford Taurus, which is total garbage. I've heard mixed things about the Mini. See, part of the problem is here in the States, Minis are luxury cars that are expensive. Now, anybody in Britain could understand why that's funny. But they do seem to be reliable cars regardless. Yeah, no, a Mini is super expensive out here. Hey, Hugo. Actually, it's funny you say that. My mom and I, well, Mom had a Yugo for a very long time. Can you guess why we don't have a Yugo anymore? I'll just tell you, for those of you not aware of how Yugos work. We ran out of parts, and we just couldn't replace them anymore. You ever hear that saying, if you're going to buy a Yugo, buy 3? Yeah. It's a shame because the car worked perfectly fine except it was missing something. I forget what. And because of that missing part, that was the end of it. But it was a very reliable and good car up until it irreplaceably broke. Go figure. People used to make fun of us for having a Yugo, and it's like, yeah, but, like, it's a good car that has lasted us in all kinds of weather. We didn't even need snow tires on that thing, for God's sakes. At least not for normal snow weather. You know, up in Colorado. No, I've never seen one of those hazardous, sorry. Like I said, the most reliable car we've ever had was the Yugo. Do it, Consul Heart. Give in to the dark side of killing people with a sword.
Stand and fight me!
Each passing moment, you make yourself more my samurai.
I'll let bullshit!
Oh, there you are.
Very good.
I've never actually driven a Jaguar. Outside of racing sims, obviously, which debatably doesn't count. Although I'll tell you one car I hate driving. Porsches. Specifically the 911 series, which I know doesn't narrow it down, but good lord, those things are terrible. Just and that's my impression of driving a Porsche. I'll be here all night. Okay, that one's a little strained, hazardous, but that's still got a grin out of me.
Want to see the cherry.
So one thing I noticed while I was doing this off camera, anytime you take out a red base, it explores part of the nearby map. So there's our Ubisoft quotient. You know, a reason to do those first.
That's my Sora.
Well, I did steal it, Tesla, so I suppose that's valid. I think this was a Mongolian horse, so it probably came from the other side. Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Dream Whisperer. Of course, there's a lot of variety. Different types of peanut butter, different categories of peanut butter. Then there's jelly and jam and preserves. And of course, there's all kinds of different fruit. Pomegranate jelly, by the way. Oh, I wish I could get a hold of that still. Used to make our own.
Who will fight?
But no. Anyone else? No? No. Oh, you. Okay. Should've worn some armor. Damn it. Well, they're not hungry anymore. Yes, Dakota. Well, I shouldn't say that because I haven't been blocking at all. But parrying is omnidirectional, yes. And as we've described before, you can interrupt a swing with a parry. I don't know if if blocking is though. I guess I could test that in next combat. Yeah, no, I agree with Dakota. The scene was awesome. The build-up to it was terrible. I also agree with what several other people have said. I'm pretty sure the food thing was, even in-universe, just an excuse. It's like, yeah, okay, sure, you're hungry, whatever. But even then, even if it was not about the food, it would make more sense to me that, how do I phrase this? They went too far with the missions for us to help him if it's not the food. And if it is the food, then they push that too far into unconvincingly. I mean, we literally... it's part of the highlight reel where I was making fun of the food thing. Because there was literally food hanging from the wall. So either it's an excuse, and it's badly written. Or it's the food, and it's badly written. And that's why that's a negative to story. Pretty much codified. And 3 ships. I'll at least forgive the ships, because they blew up the ship we were on. But we took multiple camps with what was amount to no actual pushback. We should have been friggin' fine, you know? Whatever. I've already made my complaints known. It's probably only noteworthy. This is probably why people say I'm negative. All he talks about is the one bad thing of the game. He's not gushing about the voice acting, or the plot, or the characters, or how awesome the facial representation was, or that one scene which was incredible. The best scene in the whole game. No. Toxic Lord returns. Yeah, I don't care about fighting those guys. Hang on, Salmonoids, hang on. I'm gonna do two things, then I'm gonna start doing main mission stuff. I'm also unlocking fast travel points on the map, just kind of like we did last time. Which this is not one, apparently. Oh, whatever. Toxic lore was always here. There is no escaping the toxicity.
Lord Sakai, do you know the statue that overlooks the big farm in Kushi? There's a young man all alone out there, defending it from vandals and thieves.
One of Master Izo's works. This young man may need some help. It would be a shame to lose that statue to the invaders.
Please, do what you can to save it, my lord.
It's funny you say that, Blow Off Alex. I don't know if you're joking or just making fun of me, in which case, fine. But I found that, especially when it comes to reviews, it's easier to be casually positive when you shouldn't be than to be casually negative when you shouldn't be. You know, like the idea of... I don't know how to explain this. In my experience, it's easier to be like, man, I really like such and such, when you either don't, or you like it because of the wrong reason, or you only like it in small doses, and blah, blah, blah. And then you get to negatives, and negatives are a lot easier to tell when they're actually pissing you off, because they are demonstrably removing your enjoyment of a work, right? That's why so many of those positives are still in the neutral thing. Or, not in the neutral thing, in the theoretical thing. Let's pretend I was reviewing Dragon Age 2, and I've never played it before. That's important. And if that was a thing that was true, and I decided to give the game a plus for gameplay right off the bat to combat, I would have to very seriously consider whether or not that needs to be removed later on. That's why I tend to put things in the brackets. I want to see how I feel about it after 4 or 5 or 8 or 12 or whatever hours, right? This is also why if things tend to... I mean, I know you disagree with me on this, Blue Alex, but this is why things tend to get more positives if they are theoretical and they remain good. Like the core combat of this game is probably getting another positive if it remains interesting, but we're only a third of the way through the game. And in truth, I'm sincerely thinking about starting to skip side stuff. I say as I'm doing side stuff. Specifically to try and avoid that problem? Which I suppose isn't fair, now that I think on it. I will also admit, and this is a personal bias problem, if I'm already very positive towards a game, I don't feel bad about giving a negative, but I will hesitate about being more positive. And vice versa, if I am very negative about a game, I tend to hesitate on giving more negatives, but am more willing to give it positives. That's unless I hit the breach point, which I don't have a better term for. Because every now and again I hit a breach point with a game. It doesn't actually happen all that often. When a game just is unmitigatingly pissing me off. And then it's just negative, because the game has, I've given up. I have lost all mercy, all tolerance. I have given the game every chance to not be crap, and it has failed me. Yeah, Anthem is a perfect example of that. After a certain point, it breaches, and I stop holding back, because screw this. The same can happen with positives, too. Every now and again I hit a game where I can't stop gushing about it because I'm enjoying it so much. And it's just so awesome. And I don't hold back by giving positives. Yeah, fine. So that's actually pretty rare. I think we could probably count on one hand how many times it's happened, but it has happened. I don't know if it's obvious to you guys. It always feels completely different to me. Like, my mentality completely changes when that happens. Yeah, Odyssey. That was another one. And by that, I'm sorry, I'm joking, and it's a bad joke. The Odysseys are a good example of that. Both for good and for bad, because I couldn't stop gushing about Mario Odyssey. And Assassin's Creed Odyssey just piled up and piled up until finally I was so sick of it. That we stopped playing it. Which is actually another interesting little thing to think about. Should we play a game at launch or not? Because if we're being honest, especially nowadays, most games are not as good as they will eventually be at launch. That's kind of normal at this point, unfortunately. Think about Kingdom Come Deliverance, which I was quite positive on. That game was not great when it launched. Division, you mentioned that. I could use FF14 as an example here. No Man's Sky, that's a good example. It's that mentality right there, by the way, is one of the reasons why I'm not super in a hurry to play games as they come out. Unless there's either a lot of interest in it, this game, for example, or Cyberpunk, or if it's a game that is highly anticipated, which I guess is saying the same thing. So never mind, that's the only reason. If you guys really want a run to happen and you demonstrate that, then yeah, sure, we'll go ahead and play it day of. Like this one. I just realized something. Stances are only really necessary for breaking. If you can just break properly, or excuse me, parry properly, you don't need to use stances at all. So that's going to be a challenge run. A no stance run, you know? So you just parry, they're dead. Okay, let's demonstrate. Oh, hang on, let's get on fire first. Undertale was not a day one playthrough, no. A reluctant playthrough, too. Oh, so I'm in completely the wrong stance for polearm. Hang on. But I can still do that, so I was right. I was right. I don't remember SA2K. I really don't. That was before we were doing this current review system, so we've technically never actually reviewed Breath of the Wild. That's a weird thought. That was when we were actually building this review system. Breath of the Wild was one of the games we were building that system on. Are we done? Is it done? Yep, there we go. Yay! Okay, now we're going to make our way up here, and then up to there. Does this game feel like a finished product? Yes, actually. Which is a damned rare thing, I agree. At least from a AAA game. I mean, if Breath of the Wild 2 ever comes out, that would probably be a good time to review Breath of the Wild 1. Last of Us 2 did feel like a finished product, yes. I'm being raided by crocodiles, which is terrifying. Hi, crocodile. You imagine just charging over the hill? Oh god, that's horrifying. Anyways. Last of Us 2, for its many flaws, did feel like it was a finished product. The problems with Last of Us 2 for me were the fact that they wanted the game to be the way it was. Which caused issues, in my opinion. Robot crocodiles? Taking my next 2 reference. I don't remember what I was asking about Neo yesterday. It's one of the only Souls-like games I've never played at all, so I really know nothing about it. Hiya! Crocodiles. Easy answer. Crocodiles don't have the capacity for cruelty.
Negium Harsinta.
Damn. You guys got some guard. Look at that. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. No wonder. There we go. Okay. There we go. That's a little better. Oh, thank goodness. Snap my neck, please. Please snap my neck. End it. What, there's a difference between crocodiles and alligators? That's maybe a joke. I don't remember the full discussion of it, but basically the joke is something along the lines of, if you ever want... Oh shoot, now I gotta look it up. I gotta do the joke properly. It boils down to, if you ever need to learn the answer to what something is, all you have to do is state what it is incorrectly on the internet, and then people will lunge at the opportunity to correct you. Is it Cunningham's Law? I don't see why not, Kay. They're going to eat you alive! And I don't mean that figuratively. I mean, they're literally going to take forks and knives and just consume you while you lay there bound and gagged. So, don't worry about it, Kay. Oh, yep, that is Cunningham's Law. That's exactly what I was thinking of. There's a joke related to Cunningham's Law where someone says it's like some other thing. I forget what the other thing is, and they say, that's Cunningham's Law. And someone immediately corrects them saying, no, that's not Cunningham's Law, that's this other thing, which they then helpfully define. Well, they won't eat your family alive. That's just a social faux pas right there. Well, they might eat your family alive. I mean, you go to the States, oof. All we do here is eat people. Sorry, hang on. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Died. He is a whale shark. Damn it, I forgot to test out blocking. Okay, I'm just gonna block. It's actually forcing me to look at him. So I guess yes is the answer? Alright, dive. Let's kill some Mongols. Okay. Do they deserve to die? Yes, they do. Okay. He's eating all the Mongols. See, we have to get rid of the corpses somehow, and that's his contribution. He's very helpful. Thank you, Dad. You're welcome. Well, that's why we feed them through a wood chipper first, Tesla. Duh. Come on, man. I gotta think of everything. Okay, here we go. You ready? I'm ready. What? Oh, no! Dive!
Ready?
Okay, we're good. Thank you, Dive. Are there any enemies left? I'm not sure. We'll have to look around for a few. Hey, look! Food. Ugh, that doesn't look like Mongolians at all. Yeah, don't worry. You don't have to eat that. Thank you. He doesn't like meat. That's why we chipper shred the Mongolians. There is so much meat at this camp, it's actually funny. Every tent has meat in it. I wonder if they actually went out of the way to remove the meat doodads of the camps in Ryuzo's quests. Wait, we seriously get a shark spirit in Neo? That is awesome. I vow to never not use the shark spirit, except for testing purposes. We shall forever be the Sharkinator. I don't know. I don't know what we are in Neo, so I don't know what... Like, are we a samurai? Are we... ninja? Are We an undead spirit. I don't know much about Neo. I'm curious what other name you would know skinning by. Okay. Why, I just consider that ripping the flesh off of my enemies? I don't know. Are you ready? Ready. No, don't eat those people. Okay. Are they good people? Yes, they're good people. Hugs. Hugs. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Darth Tarman, yeah, we're thinking about picking up that game I can't think of the name of. The pseudo D&D game. We'll probably discuss it tonight. I'm gonna make Bragwin decide just to be evil. She's gonna say, sounds good. And I'm gonna suggest something that's not a board game, just to mess with her. She's gonna say, sounds good to that. And then she'll be trapped making a real decision. No, you're not supposed to laugh. Okay. Yes, you need to ask the shark. The shark knows all. Yeah, this is actually really hard to keep him on my shoulder like this. I'm basically squinching him between my head and my shoulder.
Omi village. Home.
Oh, hi, Zytaf. That was shorter than I thought it would be. Surprisingly well kept home, considering we've been absent and arguably dead for however long it's been.
No sign of Mongols.
Like I said, kind of weird.
Where is it?
How dare you! Oh. Young master. I feared you were dead.
I came as soon as I could. It's good to see you, Yuriko.
You look tired. Are you hungry?
Not now. Thank you. The Khan's army must have marched past here. Have you had any trouble?
A few bandits. Nothing I can't take care of.
I've come for my father's... my armor.
You refused to wear it at Komoda Beach.
A lot has changed since then.
I hid it somewhere safe. Come this way. These old bones.
Good morning, Sean. By the way, someone else already suggested Dread, so if you want to suggest something else...
I'll get Taichi to help me fetch it. He's at the cemetery.
What's he doing there?
Tending the grounds. Gathering plants for my poisons.
Keeps vermin out of our food stores.
I'm glad you're not alone.
What about Lord Shimura?
Alive. The Mongols captured him at Komoda, but we freed him.
Oh, others survived. And they're helping you?
A few. Lady Masako.
Good. She's been fighting alongside the boys since she was knee-high.
You'll have to tell me more about that someday.
But it's just the two of you?
A few others. Sensei Ishikawa.
I haven't seen him in years. Does he still act like he's the only one who knows how to do things?
Half the time he's right, but his aim is unmatched.
He would certainly agree.
That's kind of terrifying, Hazardous. Not surprising, but terrifying.
Lord Sakai, you're back!
I wish I could stay, but I hear you're taking good care of Yuriko.
You've got that backwards, my lord.
Taichi, help me get the Sakai armor.
Go. I should pay my respects.
The weeds haven't been pulled.
I'm sorry, Yuriko.
Our lord finally returns and his home is a mess.
I'll fix it immediately.
Don't worry about that now. Let's make sure the armor is perfect.
I mean, honestly, there's quite a few places that are this pretty, yes. Even in, even the States are actually quite pretty. Just depends on where you're looking.
Light from my father. We used to meditate here. All things pass away.
Yeah, my dad was sharing some pictures of them going through Montana recently, and there are some vistas up there, let me tell you. Internet hazardous. Which is a shame, because I agree that the climate would suit me. No, I think, ironically, up in Oregon or Washington would be the only places that have the internet infrastructure I would require to do my job, and are still northward enough and decent enough to live in areas. The problem with both is price. It is super pricey to live up in that area. We're talking double-ish what I pay around here, and I already pay kind of high. Also, there's, federal agents that are just kidnapping people off the streets, so that's kind of a problem, too.
Jin, help me.
Young master?
Are you alright?
Yes, just lightheaded. For a moment, I thought you looked...
Face us, coward!
Get inside.
That's funny, I literally can't access my gear right now.
Stand and fight!
Oh, the straw men. Well, okay. I'd rather die. Start over.
Stand and fight me! It's his sword!
God damn it.
Give up! You can't win! This is it!
I like standing off a strawman, I can already tell. Yes, Muhammad Elvis. Let me take their food for added irony.
Lord Sakai!
Are you alright?
You butchered them!
Yeah.
Is Yarikawa giving us trouble again?
The Yarikawa rebellion was 20 years ago. Those men were with the Mongols.
Of course. Seeing you like that, I'm still shaken up. I need to catch my breath.
By the lake. Your favorite tree.
Yes. Come.
What's so weird? I just killed 3 people. I killed more people on the road to here.
Making poisons.
Keeps the vermin out of our rice.
Can you make it stronger? Enough to kill a man?
No one deserves that.
Can you do it?
The effects in larger doses are ugly.
Good.
Oh, my lord. Sit with me a moment.
I'm pretty sure we are, Mr. Red.
Poison has never been the Sakai way.
No Sakai had to fight the Mongol Empire. I need every weapon we have. Tsushima can't afford anything less.
The Mongols have changed you, young master.
The world has changed.
My mother taught me about plants that heal, others that harm, even kill. But they must be consumed. How will you poison the invaders?
A blowgun and darts. I've read of their use by a Genji warrior who studied with monks from the west. Will you help me?
Promise me you'll remain the good man I know.
I promise.
I've looked after your every need since your mother carried you. I won't stop now.
All I need is something to make a blowgun.
Used to be a lot of reeds on the other side of the lake, where the old fishermen lived. Remember? You and your little friend gathered them to make little boats.
Ryuzo and I, we spent all day reenacting the Battle of Danora.
Be careful, Jin. I've seen fires over there at night. Not sure who it is.
Don't worry, I'll be back soon with reeds.
Go get your reeds.
As usual, I'm failing to keep up with the hypotheticals here. We're actually at, hang on. Let me just do this.
I'll wait for you here.
There. That's where we're on. A little more accurate. I think at this point in time, I'm actually going to go ahead and codify this negative. We'll see what they do with Ryozo going forward, but as Takoida points out and as I agreed with, the buildup was simply no matter how you slice it. Gameplay-wise, where are we at here? Those are both definitive. And we're at that. And that. I'll have to debate it, Darth Tyrant, and I don't mean to sound unkind, but I'll have to debate it. I also can't make that decision unilaterally. I mean, it's my show, but I'm sharing the time with several other people. You know what I mean? You can ask Brigwin right now. She's right there. I mean, that's probably one of those, you know, you can't hunt the king's, no poaching kind of thing, right, Tesla? Don't hunt the king's land. That sort of idea. Which means they do it all the time, of course, when they're hungry, and then they get killed for it. Which, by the way, of the many, many, many laws that don't make sense to me back in the day, that's one of the ones that makes the least sense. To quote someone else, the only person who is allowed to hunt on those grounds is the person who doesn't need to. Is it 4? Yep, there we go. 4. It actually did upgrade it by 1.
That's right. The old fisherman's home has been taken over by bandits.
One of the guys saw our display and decided to sprint for his life. Go figure.
Perfect for a blowgun. I'll get these to Yuriko.
What's he waiting for?
I have admittedly never researched real-life poaching laws. But whenever it's portrayed in fiction, it's always the exact same story. I was hungry, there was food. I poached, I was killed. The end. Reminds me of a discussion about economic models I had recently. I don't know, Gallica Master. You're right. Okay, seeing the wind just blowing my cloak over me. Look at that. Look at that. Whee. Whee. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it.
Jean, alone in the world.
Hey, what's up? It's okay, I'm probably going to be excommunicated / banished / sentenced to death. Whatever they're going to call it.
Yuriko?
Oh, excuse me, young master. You caught me thinking about Lord Sakai.
I try not to do that.
He loved you in his way.
Enough of the past. We have a blowgun and darts. All I need now is the poison.
Of course, young master. Come with me.
The Shogunate, Tesla? Also our uncle.
And poison. It kills vermin within moments.
Make it strong enough for the invaders.
I admittedly don't know. I don't know this period of history that well. But I know that there are the daimyo back on the mainland. They've already referenced them several times.
It's nice to ride with you again.
You and Lord Shimura taught me to ride. On that runt pony.
You sat so tall and straight in your little saddle. Like you were the shogun himself.
That is so strange, Zendriarch, but thank you for telling me that.
Oh no, little Jin.
What's so funny?
I just remembered it was out here you nearly killed your uncle.
What?
You were 3 or 4. The poor man was trying to teach you how to hold your wooden kodachi. You wanted to chase butterflies.
I know the story. My uncle's black eye took weeks to heal.
Lord Shimura and your father laughed so hard, I fear they'd both choke to death.
I don't remember my father's laugh.
He lost his humor after your mother got sick. But you have your father's laugh. Here we are.
A gozamat and a campfire. You sleep out here?
Only when I spend the day foraging for plants. I'll look for the flowers we need.
Rest, Yuriko. I will get them for you.
Don't eat the seeds, they're poisonous.
Another child, Yuriko.
Oh, I know. Remember how we'd gather flowers for your mother?
She arranged them for the little alcove at home.
That should be enough. Bring them to me, young master.
Your plants.
Good. We extract the seeds, crush them, make a paste, and dip the needles.
Make sure the dose is strong.
It should do what you need. It's done.
You're sure he came this way? The old woman has a camp around here somewhere.
Listen. Someone's coming.
Stay there, Yuriko. Let's see if this poison works.
You will regret.
Torio.
I just want his head and the price that goes with it. How much, Father?
It's around here somewhere. Let me get it.
That is a fast-acting poison. My God. Yikes. Oh well.
Are you hurt, young master?
No.
Don't worry. I dealt with them.
Sometimes I forget you're a grown man.
I forget sometimes too. We should get back to the estate.
I'll stay. I need to straighten the place up.
Don't push yourself too hard.
Hush! You are not a child, and I'm old enough to take care of myself.
What other kinds of poison can you make?
Always so impatient. There is another. It causes confusion and rage.
I call it sake.
Ingredients. What were they?
Try to remember. It sounds useful. That's my Sora.
I barely remember what sake tastes like, honestly. It has been many, many years since I've had any.
What were they? Red leaves? No, it has petals. Ah, a flower. No, not that. Oh, mother, I wish...
Ugh, vodka. No thank you. I remember what that tastes like. Fire. No, that's kidding. Bourbon. That tastes like fire. My goodness.
You are here. Young master, would you like something to eat?
I'm fine, Yuriko. I just need the poison. You are trying to remember the ingredients.
They were flowers. You remember them, don't you? The ones I planted at your family cemetery.
I remember washing the graves. Father made me hold buckets of water from the lake.
He knew it would make you strong and teach you to respect your ancestors. Don't you remember the flowers, Jin?
Spider lilies.
That's right.
Yeah, no thank you, guys. One of those weird things I get amused by. Every time I mention that I don't like alcohol, one of the first things people do is say, you should try this type, or this type, or this type.
Go mad. Tear each other to pieces. It's awful.
Same with anime, actually.
For a good cause. Just make it strong enough to work on men.
If you think it's necessary, I know exactly where to find what we need.
I don't think absinthe is legal here.
This part
Mr.
of the
Red.
forest. I was here when I was a child.
After your mother passed away.
I refused to believe she was gone. So I ran from home and came here.
Your mother loved to take long walks here.
I searched until sundown. I kept shouting for her. But she was gone. And I was lost.
You were missing for 3 days. Nearly dead by the time your father found you.
I've never seen him so angry.
Angry at himself for failing to protect you. I've seen your father before countless battles, and he was never more worried than the sleepless nights he spent searching for his only son. Not much farther to the cemetery.
I mean, I would rather drink Tabasco than alcohol, if I'm being completely
You would
honest.
disapprove. like my uncle.
Don't be so sure. They argued often. Kazumasa thought your uncle too rigid, willfully blind to possibilities. Kazumasa had imagination.
Imagination? My father?
You're like him in more ways than you know.
Careful.
Disrespecting the dead.
Stay here. Challenge me!
I've had Kool-Aid. No thank you. Kool-Aid always tasted a little bit too much like flavored water. Which, I mean, I know it is, but... like, literally, it tasted like a drink that's either been watered down or water that's had some powder added to it. And again, I know that that's exactly what it is, but it always tasted like it. Plus, it sounds like an actual story, at least to me, Dakota. Are we done? We're not done.
Oi! Ready?
Yes, Black Cloud, he did.
Did you drive them off?
Yes. It's safe to look for the spider lilies.
Why would we look for them here?
Isn't this where you used to plant them?
Oh. No, not here. It's been so long. They're in another cemetery. Your great aunt's branch of the family. It's not far.
Okay. There you are.
Yuriko, do you remember... I was 5 or 6. I had a nightmare about this forest. A fight.
It wasn't a nightmare. I told you it was to keep you calm.
That was real? I remember men shouting.
Our retinue was returning home late one night. We were ambushed by Ronin.
The Ronin must have been dangerous. My father's samurai were frightened.
Not of the Ronin. Of Kazumasa.
Of my father? Why?
He and his samurai drove the Ronin off. But Kazumasa pursued them on foot. You could hear their screams. He returned to us just before dawn, covered in blood. Some of his own men mistook him for a demon of the forest. Do you recognize this lake?
We used to meditate here.
How you'd fidget.
You told me to pretend I was a rock, and all I wanted was to swim.
The view's much better from the shore. Join me, young master. These old bones need a rest. This time you'll have to keep me from fidgeting. Some of my favorite memories happened at this lake.
Stopping a child's fidgeting?
Your mother and I would come here when she was pregnant with you.
We should keep moving.
A grown man, and you still can barely sit still.
We can meditate again, after the war.
Yes, young master.
You know, when I've been kicked out of the country, or whatever's going to happen to us. I keep saying that I'm actually going to laugh if we just end up having a good ending and everything's fine. It's like, no, we're okay. We beat the Mongols. We are now ascendant to the local daimyo. This is our island now. Except we're good. You know, internal honor. Real honor.
Cemetery isn't far.
So.
Feels much closer when you're not carrying water.
Yeah, we go to Lord Shimura, it's like, I'm sorry I had to do this, uncle. And he's like,
break stone,
it's okay.
But they cannot erase the memory of these warriors.
I won't tell you.
Please gather the spider lilies. I can't bear to look.
Okay. Bragging honor. That's a good term for fake honor. I like that.
My aunt Matsu would weep at the condition of this place. Most of these warriors fell in the rebellion at Yarikawa. They deserve better than this.
Oh yeah, being forced into monkhood, that might be a thing. Or an actual Ronin. You know, kind of we're currently not.
This is all I could find.
It is enough to make the poison, but I don't want our time to end.
The Shimura Cemetery isn't far.
With a view of the waterfall. Let's go, my lord.
I don't know, Tesla. I'm pretty sure we're still loyal to him, and we're actually operating under his orders. I think we qualify as a samurai. Like, I mean, you see that in the lower right? That's the orders from him.
Kazumasa, I do enjoy our rides together.
Did you say Kazumasa?
Oh, did I? You ride with your father's grace.
Did you often go riding with my father?
Lord Sakai taught me to ride a horse.
Careful. Mongols ahead.
Wait, I can mix the new poison.
Oh, okay. Let's get the tutorial then.
How does it work?
Oh, it's terrible. Causes madness. They'll turn on each other like wild beasts.
Good. Make it. Quickly.
Rage plague, rage plague.
The poison is finished. Take it. I'll stay here.
Or 3 hazardous. Both. But no, I am legitimately guessing that she became his lover. Probably after the mother died, for being honest.
But we must set an example for our people.
Oh, piss off, game.
Remaining true to our code.
Whatever.
And to ourselves.
Whatever.
The poison's just for now. After the Mongols are gone, I won't need it.
What's funny is I was actually thinking about just walking in and killing them all, but I wanted to see what it did, and, you know, I get bonus objective for it, so why not?
Уцаа ямар тааш бэлэн байгаарай. Дараа мултарч чадахгүй. Ямар нэг юм хармуу.
Whatever. Whatever. Fine. It means dodge, Ruth. Or get down, I think, actually. They'll say that even when they're alone, which is funny, but that's on purpose. It's the audio indicator that someone's about to shoot an arrow. So even if they're not on your screen, you can tell that they're about to shoot at you. Yeah, the wind was like, hey, son, they're about to shoot you. It's like, oh, okay, thank you. Oh, my bad. I thought I'd seen one person do it when he was the only one left, but I guess not. Are we done here? Is that everyone? I guess it is everyone. Not bad. Alright, whatever.
I thought we rid ourselves of those bandits.
Not bandits, Mongols.
Oh, I couldn't see them from here. After all this, I'm worried about the Shimura cemetery, my lord. Would you check on it with me?
Of course, Yuriko. Let's have a look. Are you tired, Yuriko?
No, Lord Saka. This is the best day I've had since our afternoon at Lake Onu.
I don't remember that. You are sure that was me?
It was so long ago. You must have forgotten.
What, a Watch Dogs 4 max time? Either way, no, I haven't looked at the Xbox stuff yet.
The war hasn't touched this place.
Which is astonishing, but let's not get into that. Yeah, dementia's not cool. I can't make any jokes about that.
Do you remember, young master? We pay our respects to the Shimura warriors buried here. Then spend the afternoon writing poems.
I remember, Yuriko.
Let's write one now.
Okay. Impermanence. Remember, life sucks and then you die. I saw that max time. Which is just whatever. I didn't see if they were going to patch the PC version though.
Unbreakable walls. Stone abides rushing water. Lords and clans vanish.
Well said, my lord. The proud do not endure. The greatest of us fall in the end.
We should return to Omi.
I'll stay a while.
I know better than to argue.
Good. You learned something today. Kazumasa used to say Lord Shimura was too concerned with that castle.
The strongest point on the island.
He equated strength with the huge, the immovable. Like a mountain.
He had a point. Doubt and indecision have destroyed armies. In the midst of battle, true leaders must stay rooted, stand firm.
But look at that waterfall. All that immovable rock yields to water. The strength we need is all around us.
It's pretty cool, actually.
I have one more place I would like to visit, my lord. When you're ready.
I mean, I already like the fact that he says something different depending on the poem you pick. And it's also in the tooltip for the headbands.
Lord Sakai. Excuse me. The cold wind is getting to me.
Yuriko, you're not well.
Nonsense.
Let me take you to Akashima. They can treat you.
We have to visit someplace special.
Where?
It's not far. After that, I promise we will see your healers.
Fine. But if you start feeling worse, we go straight to Akashima.
Of course, my lord. Always so stern.
Where is this special place of yours?
You'll see.
You cannot tell me?
I won't have to.
Lead the way.
Let's see if you can keep up.
Careful, Yuriko.
Here!
Dumb question. What's Aora? I don't recognize that one. Ah, new IP. Got it. That's strange.
Do you know where we are?
There's an onsen around here, isn't there?
There it is. Shall we take a closer look?
I am not bathing with you. I will be Puritan if I have to.
Isn't it beautiful?
Very. Why are we here?
Are you upset? I hope it's not wrong of us to come.
I don't understand.
Oh, it's so painful to see you weighed down by sadness with Lady Sakai and the little one.
Yuriko, are you alright?
It's nothing. I just felt a little faint.
When did you last eat?
Yesterday, I think.
Wait here. I'll find us something.
I'm not a child.
Please, Yuriko. Rest here a moment.
As you wish, since you ask so sweetly.
I'll be back soon. Maybe there's game nearby.
Dad's like, yeah, it's down here. Yeah, the question is, did she actually have an affair? Or did she merely attempt to have an affair and failed at it? Nah, it's fine.
Oh.
I don't know what that camera angle is, but sure.
I'll bring this to Yuriko.
I'll take it.
Make her eat a little.
Have some pig, Yuriko. Anyone want some bacon?
Yuriko! Yuriko! Her horse isn't here. She rode off.
Dad's like, she's over here. There's also, well, you know. God damn it, game, fine. I'm following the tracks, game. What do you want from me? Okay, following the tracks. Christ. Apparently I wasn't following the tracks.
Powder. Herbs. She came this way.
God, that's so weird that that works.
Yuriko's horse. She can't be far.
In case you missed that, as someone pointed out in chat earlier, once you run out of stamina, you just do a dodge and then your stamina gets refilled for whatever reason.
Yuriko!
My lord.
Yuriko, are you hurt?
No. I was just... I got lost.
Where were you going?
I saw my mother. She waved but kept walking. I had to catch up.
I'm bringing you home.
No. My mother. I have to make an offering.
You do not.
Please. for all the times I've done as you asked. Come with me. Let me pay respects to my mother.
All right. But don't push yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you deal with dementia without even knowing what dementia is?
My mother would take me on long walks in these...
I mean, did they know what the brain was at this point in history? I actually don't know.
Maybe that's why you saw her.
We're almost there.
Yeah, like the what the brain was, its organs, purpose, and blah 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 blah. And we all know the brain's just there to cool the blood.
A cemetery.
My family is here.
Now, in a lot of other settings, going to the cemetery of your family would, when you're seeing things, would be a really horrible thing. Here, this is just kind of sad.
Oh, Kazumasa. That night, you brought little Jin to me. And he was so sick after all that time in the forest. We had already lost Lady Sakai. Kazumasa, are you listening?
I'm listening.
I made him drink that remedy my mother taught me. We sat by his side the whole night. You held my hand. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember.
That night, I was so scared. So sad for little Jin. But I was so happy. Does that make me a bad person?
No.
When he recovered, when you taught me how to ride, the day we rode to the onsen, the sunset was red and full. That was...
That was what?
the best day of my life. It's dark, Kazumasa. Tell me what you see.
I can see all the way to Yarikawa.
I remember the war. A tragedy for all the clans.
Castle Kaneda.
I wish you weren't there so often.
Why do you say that?
You have many responsibilities. I am grateful for the time we share. But I always want more.
There's the temple in Kushi. You can see the pagoda.
Every new year, I pray there for you, and little Jin, and my family.
Jin is lucky you take such good care of him.
Now tell me what you see. Yuriko?
There are worse ways to go.
Rest, Yuriko. The strength we need is all around us. The mighty fall at last, to be no more than dust before the wind.
You know, Last of Us 2 only made me cry once. Right at the end, actually. Damn. I think Dakota was right. I think she literally had a stroke. And without any possible anything to deal with it, she just kinda... I guess you're right. I've only cried the one time in this game, Mr. Red. I guess my point is an optional side quest with a character I was just introduced to about an hour ago evoked actual emotion in me. You know? It's not that common. It is lunchtime. I'm just debating what to do next. I think I want to do character quests. Focus on those. So that's what we're going to do. When we get back.